Hello everyone and welcome back. This month I've got some fun goodies to show y'all. I've got my Sketchbox, I've got my Stencil Girl Club, and then I've got some other just fun things. So one of them is the tempera paint sticks. So these are a children's paint supply, but I keep seeing them, and then I've had several people in my Facebook group talk about have I tried them, do I like them, and what they are is basically a little paint stick in a tube. And I finally gave in and was like, okay, maybe I'll try it. I wouldn't use these for like really nice pieces of art that you're creating, but it definitely could be something that you work with in your sketchbook and doing fun projects for yourself. And I like that they're in such great colors. This is the pastel set, and then I also got a 40 color set that's got classic colors, neon colors, metallics, and pastels. And they're supposed to be creamy and dry fast, and so that's a nice alternative to say like an oil pastel or something like that, which never dries. And I thought, oh wait a minute, these are creamy. Oh yeah, so you know, and I don't like the ones that are really like the jelly ones. I don't like those. They're like lipstick, and these are kind of like a lipstick, but look at that vibrant color. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is a win. And you just run these up and down, and then they're supposed to dry very quickly, which for mark making with all the fun abstract things that we like to do, I think is going to be great for making, say, like the big spots of color that I like, and then it drying in my book. Ooh, oh, I love that one. Okay, these they feel like the Mungyo oil pastels. That's what that feels like to me, and the consistency and the color vibrancy. So I would say these feel like the Mungyos. So I do actually think I'm gonna like those quite a bit. So yay for the tempera paint sticks. So I'll link these below. These were cheap, and they had several different colorways, and I like having all the colors. So I thought that would definitely be fun to give these a try as something to work with in your sketchbooks. You could even try these with your stencils and just see like how would that do for some stencil work. So that's the pastel set. I really like those colors. Let's just glance real quick at the other set. This one has 40 colors in it. They're washable. They're meant to be able to very easily be cleaned up. Look at these colors right here. Oh my goodness. And then we've got some metallics right here, a few neons, and then some darker colors. And okay, we've got some pastels in the bottom rung, so this probably is going to be a duplicate of a few of the colors that we got in the pastel package. But I like the pastel colors so much that I'm not even hating it. Like, that's the same color, that's the same color, that's the same color. So if you went with the 40 piece box, you would have a selection of these pastels. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. So it's probably half of these. But I think I'm gonna like them. They feel like the Mungyos, and they'll dry fast. So I think for sketchbook art, I think those are a good alternative, and they're not expensive. So we're gonna see more of these. That's a fun find. I had enough people in my group say, have you tried these? What do you think? And now I'm gonna be, oh, look at that. And it's already not smearing. And we have just did that a couple minutes ago. So, tempera sticks for the win. I think I'm gonna really like those. So I did see, in the Stencil Girl video, there's a video that talks about stenciling and different problems and tools and how to get a better stencil. result when you use the stencils, and I'll try to link that video below because it's a good video. A lot of people say, oh, my stenciling's not good, I just hadn't got it, I can't figure it out, and 99 times out of 100 the problem is too much paint. And I admit I use these little sponges and I definitely use too much paint, and I understand what it's going to do when I'm using those sponges. But I thought this is one of the tools that she tried out in that video, and I thought, we can give that a go. It's little brushes with fine tips to it, and then you would maybe wash these after you've used them for the stenciling for the day. So we're gonna give those a try. These are real fun, and I will link these below, but it's a whole little set of just the brushes, so every time you need a different color when you're stenciling that day, you could just, you know, grab a little different brush. So I thought that'd be fun to try out. And that Stencil Girl video is definitely a good one if you're struggling with your stencils. So those will be fun. Ooh, I have a book. Look at this book. Let's just go ahead and talk about the book. So this is Patterns of Portugal. I think I also have Patterns of India, but I'll show that one to you next time. But what I like about books like this is it introduces you to lovely patterns. And, you know, if you've been working your way through, you know, the art journal where I've been doing lovely patterns and things, it's good for like thinking of mark making and mindful exercises and getting inspiration from color. And so I love pattern. It's already a favorite thing of mine. Like, can you see like a whole page of these right here? Those would be beautiful to paint in your book. But I like things like this, and Portugal has lots of beautiful patterns and colors and textiles, and right up my alley for getting inspired and looking and enjoying the different patterns and colors of a different area. So this book is gorgeous. Very inspiring. I could look through it and pull out color palettes to do some lovely watercolors. Oh, look at that pretty teal there. And a lot of these patterns are, you know, ceramic tiles and stuff. But you can easily do ideas like this in your art books or as a piece of art. These are gorgeous. I'd really love to visit some of these sites and see these in person, because they're just like nothing that, you know, is around where I'm from. So it's a beautiful, inspiring book of texture and pattern and color. So I just wanted to share that with you. The Patterns of Portugal by Christine Chitness, and I'll link that below. And now we're getting down to the fun stuff. I also got, let me get that in a second, some new acrylic markers, which I've not tried these. You know, I've got the Arctics and I've got the Copic ones, and I've got those lovely, these all sit on my desk. These are those Arctics ones, which I gotta say, this is definitely a super fave for this year. I also have these Thule art ones in the lovely earth tones, and so every time I see a new acrylic marker, I'm like, ooh, maybe I need to try that too. I definitely have shiny object syndrome. And somebody in my group, and I'm sure you know who you are, shared these and seemed to like them, and I thought, another one to give a try out to see what we think. And then like this year, I have a favorites video coming out, by the time you see this video, it would have already came out around Black Friday. So maybe next year this could be in the super favorites. I don't know. We'll see. So these are Primrosia 24 dual tip markers, brush and fine, in the pastels, and I like pastel colors. And this is acrylic paint pens, extra fine tips, and it looks like I got pastels also, Primrosia, because I don't know why I did that, but the colors do seem to be slightly different. It's probably the same, but they look slightly different. There's a few more colors in this 31. So let's just take a look at these. So you do have to pump these to get them started. I wonder if you have to shake them. Let's see. Let's just, oh, and it gets started fairly quickly. Okay, these remind me of some of the other ones that we've gotten tried, and they really remind me too of the Etchr and Olive ones, which are, you know, very pricey. That's kind of what those actually remind me of, is these acrylograph ones. That's exactly what it looks like. Like that tip looks the same. It kind of feels the same as those, so I can definitely see. And I like the fine tip, so that's a win. Extra fine Primrosia. Okay, that's a win. Let's put that over there. The Etchr and Olive ones are hit or miss sometimes. Let's pull out one of these. Kind of wanted, let's do this purple. Okay, these are dual tip, which I like dual tip because, oh, look at that. See, now that's got color already on the tip. But I like dual tip because I do like the brush tip of the Arctics ones. Let's just pull one of those out. Because they're just like ready to go. Okay, so out of those two, the Arctics puts out more paint. So if I had to pick between the Arctics ones and the Primrosia ones, I'd go with the Arctics ones. So for that brush tip, because it's definitely a more opaque acrylic paint, whereas this feels more like a marker. And then a super fine tip. Oh, look at that. So that'd be really nice. Okay, so this is actually, now that I'm looking at it, this would be really nice for mark making. This says acrylic paint pens. These are dual tip marker pens. That's why I'm seeing a difference here, because these are markers. And it looks like a marker and it feels like a marker, where this is a paint pen. I don't know if I realized that when I ordered these, and now I have forgotten, because to be honest, I meant to show these to you last month, and I had so many other goodies that came up last month that I ended up forgetting that I had these in my little art stash. Yeah, I really like, okay, so out of these, definitely like the acrylic paint pen extra fine tip, and I do prefer the Arctics rather than the dual tip marker. Not really a marker girl, but I can see that for mark making. But yeah, I meant to show those to you last month, but I ended up having so many good things that I forgot, and then I pulled it out this time thinking, uh-oh, I forgot those. And so I don't remember if I realized that this was dual tip markers when I ordered it to try it. I just liked that it was a dual tip. I definitely like the paint pens better for what we do in our painting and stuff. So this for a win. This, kind of questionable. This would be good if you're into the art journaling and the bullet journaling and all that. These would be great for that. So maybe giving these to my teacher neighbor, because those two girls that live over there, that is what they do. They are into the Etchr and Olive art journals, and they do all that work in their journals. And I think they would love those. So this for art journaling. This, I mean for journaling. This for your art stuff. Let's put those over here. Okay, let's jump into, oh, one more thing and then I'll jump into our boxes. So I came across this sketchbook that somebody had recommended, and I just wanted to give it a try out. This is the Etchr Labs one, and they do really nice sketchbooks, and it would be a great option if you didn't want to make your own, which now that I've made a bunch of my own, I'm kind of in my mind thinking, why wouldn't you want to make your own? They're amazing when you make them, because then you can use whatever paper you want, and you can put the handmade papers in here, and you know, they're gorgeous, and then you can do the cover. But I get it, some people don't want to take the extra step to make their own, but the older you get, the more you can slow down. And now I think that this book itself is a piece of art, in addition to the paper things inside that I've included and the things that I paint. And so the whole thing to me is a piece of art that I can enjoy, you know, for the rest of my days as I fill it up and flip through and look and think, oh, so beautiful. I like the whole thing being a piece of art. But if you don't want to make your own, this one is more expensive. I want to say maybe like $75, which if you make your own, you might spend about that to make your own too. So I know that sounds pricey, but for the really good art journal, you want the better papers to work on, because the really cheap ones are disappointing, and then you're like, I'm not going to work in an art journal anymore. But what I liked about this one is it's the heavier paper, so it's 300 GSM or 140 pounds, which is what I work on. It's 100% cotton, which is also what I prefer, because if you work on a cheap watercolor paper, like say this one here, you know, just like the Canson wood pulp paper, you don't realize that your colors aren't as bright. You don't have as long to work with, say, watercolors and such. Things are a little bit duller, and you end up wondering like why your paintings don't look as good as maybe somebody else's paintings and such. And sometimes it's not you, it's the paper. You get what you pay for with those wood pulp ones. They're just not as good for watercolor. They're fine for like mixed media work where it doesn't really matter the quality of the paper, but for really beautiful paintings and works and stuff, and it's really stood out to me in the journal that I made with the better papers that I like to work on. It's a big difference in the quality of your finished painting. And what I loved about this, 100% cotton, 140 pound, 300 GSM, and it's got deckled edges, and that to me makes this one stand out a little better than most of the other sketchbooks, as you don't have the lovely deckled finished edge out here. And so I'm gonna be pretty excited to give this a little go with whatever project that I come up with, you know, once I'm done working with some of the other projects that we're doing. And then I also like that this one has a ribbon that you can mark wherever you're at. That's pretty cool. And a folder to include some stuff in the back. And then I like that it has the elastic closure. So this is vegan leather, I'm sure, or pleather, or vinyl, depending on how old you are and what you call stuff. But this was going to be a really fun sketchbook to try, and if you want a higher quality one and you don't want to make your own, then this is definitely one that I would pick for some of the nicer things that you do in your painting. So I just wanted to show you that. I got it just to try it out and play with myself, because I like to test all the things out. And even though I like my handmade ones the best, this is a nice option if you don't want to make your own. So I just thought I'd share that. Now let's see what we got. Let's do this. Let's do the Stencil Girl first. So this is the Stencil Club, and I'm not an affiliate with them because I couldn't find how to be one of those. So I just buy this because I love it. And same with the Sketchbox. I just buy those because I love them. And I didn't think I was going to keep the Stencil Club very long. I was just going to get it and try it out. But man, this has been so much fun that I'm just going to keep it just like I do the Sketchbox. So that's kind of weird looking. I'm not quite sure what this is this month, but that's kind of weird. What do you think that is? And then this is actually pretty cool. It's some nice framing and stuff, and we could frame out some pieces of art. Okay, so those are very interesting. This almost looks like a, I don't know, like a Batman, like a little Batman logo, or bugs, or do you think it's bugs? I don't know what that is this month. Some of the stencils that I've gotten from the club, I've thought, I don't know about that. And then we've used them, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to be my most favorite stencil ever going forward. So I don't judge the stencil itself anymore until I've used it. And then I can say, that don't work the way I thought, or, ooh, that's my new favorite. You gotta just give it a try. And some of the ones that are my very favorite, I would not have purchased if I hadn't got them in the club. So I just think that's kind of fun to get a box of things that you just weren't even expecting. So let's move the box out of the way. You know, these boxes are fantastic too. If you cut the flap off of it, these are great for storing stuff. So I like that too. I like the box. Okay, let's see what we got. What did we get? We got a Copic, a Etchr. Okay, we got the shiny silver. These are my very favorite. I love these. The shiny silver is a gorgeous silver. These are good for all the mark making goodness. Okay, so little Christmas theme there. Let's see, we got some Handmade Sketchbox 4x6 paper. This one is 70% sugarcane fiber and 30% cotton rag. So that's pretty cool. I have not tried that. We've got a paintbrush. Ooh, that's a good one. A number 4 round by Winsor Newton Cotman. So great for detail work. I'm excited about that. What else did we get here? We got a Daniel Smith extra fine watercolor stick. And what is this? Is mine black? Is that black? I like the watercolor sticks. I have a few of them. It's not something I pull out very frequently, but they are fun. And, you know, this is black. Oh, good. But they're basically, you know, you can get a little piece of watercolor paper. You can basically, like, use the stick as the, let me get that good and wet, get the stuff out of it. Well, here we go. But you basically use it like a watercolor. Oh, ha ha ha, it's purple. It looked black. So it's basically a watercolor in a stick. And I've got a few of these. Oh, I guess I could have looked at that. This is, it's got a dot on there. What the heck? There we go. This is Cobazole Violet. Okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can use it like watercolor. You can wet it and do some mark making, I guess. And then squish it around. You can just pick up the color with your paintbrush like we did. And do some little detail work if you want. And just kind of give it a play. So these are fun if you just want to have something you can take with you. And I've got a couple of them. I should pull them out and play with them. I don't play with those very much. Hardly ever. I've not played with them at all. Let's just be honest. But they are fun. I've just not thought about them as I was working on stuff. I do like the round brush. And what do we have here? We have, oh, beam paints. Now, you know, this beam one that came in the holiday box is like a fave. So let's see what we got from Beam Paints. Oh gosh, I can't even tell you. Super excited now. This just totally made my day right here. Ooh, what do we got? Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. I love how these are in a lovely wood holder. And then these were in like a lovely cardboard, larger quantity. So here we've got okra, pine, and turtle belly. Maybe the turtle okra. Let's see. Pine and turtle belly. I'm not sure. There's a green. Let's pull a piece of paper out. Let's just see what these are. All right. This one looks like a shiny silver. It's kind of a purpley lavendery one. Maybe that's the turtle. And then this is the pine. It's a pretty green. Okay, so we'll call this one the okra. Okay. Oh, see, now those are lovely. And if you compare that one to the one that was in the holiday box, it's got a little bit of a shine, like a 2-part shine to it, and then they dry. They are lovely. So now I feel like I'm getting a nice little collection there of the Beam paints. That is the A+ right there between the Copic Acrylic and the Beam paints. This was an amazing little selection of colors. And I kind of wanted to try these out. Let's just try these out. I don't know that I'll do a full paint project today, but would be fun to try these out on, how about the the sugarcane paper and with a stencil, and just see what we can get with our watercolor brush thing here. So let's put that one back up there. And I've got my stencil right here. We could try the Daniel Smith with the stencil. Like what if, so don't wet this down. I just about stuck this in water. Let's just try to get this on here. And so it's just on there, and then tap it down and just see how it works and if we like it. It's gonna take some practice on my part because I got it real thick, and then other areas not so thick. Let's try this other color. Let's just mix them up now. I think you should use a different one for each color, but that's okay. Let's go back to the green. Should probably wet that down a tiny bit. Oh yeah, it works a little better if you've got something off to the side. There we go. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe put the color on there, rub it off to the side on a little palette, and then do your stencil work. I think we got it now. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look how good that looks. That's a win, like a win-win. Okay. There we go. So we both saw how to make that work. Let's get a little mark making out here. So to get the plastic off of these, I twist it, and then magically the paper will let you pull it off then, because I don't know, unless you've got a child handy that can pull the paper off for you. That's the way I've been doing that. And so shake it up and then get it started. And then lovely mark making. Okay, that's pretty, and look at how it shines. These are like my fave for mark making and stuff. I do love those. So I think because I love those so much, that definitely a fave with these, I think too, because we'll be able to do with all the colors the lovely mark making. Look at that! Oh my goodness! Okay, definitely like the acrylic paint pens like that. Yes, I love them. Alright, A+ for those. Alright, yum yum. I hope you enjoyed seeing how beautiful we got that stencil with the watercolor off to the side on your little palette before you go on to your paper. But that actually looks amazing, and I can see doing like some larger mindful pieces with the stencils on a whole page, and then mark making and stuff, and getting some really fine detail instead of trying to paint those with a paintbrush or stamp them with a sponge. That turned out really lovely. Super cool. Hope you enjoyed checking out all the fun goodies. A+ on the Skillshare, on the on the Sketchbox goodies. Those are amazing, and I like the round brush too. That was a good one. And I do like the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. I'm gonna have to get mine out and start playing with those some, but we could probably also use that with our stencil brush that we just did, tapping some of that on there, rubbing it on the side, and then going. Oop, that had acrylic paint on it. But I think that could be another option. But that's gorgeous for a watercolor stencil. Those lines are crisp and the color's beautiful, and I can see kind of mixing some up and really getting some variations in it. So that's fantastic. And this paper's nice. This was really pleasant to work on. I like that. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the goodies. Which ones are a win, which ones maybe not. And checking out what came in our club. It's to this month. And I could have done some mark making. That would have been interesting before I hang this up. Let's just try this one more as I'm trying to sign you off. What if we did some of this with the temper stick? Like, got stuff on my fingers, but that's okay. So would this work also with the temper paint stick and give us some lovely edges and then dry really fast? Is this another good option? Let's just see. And because it's water-based and child-friendly, I'm not even worried about it getting on my fingers. All right, let's see, what'd that do? Ah, okay, so that's pretty fair also. So good choice on the stencils and the temper sticks. All right, some extra, and that'll dry pretty quick, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, good haul this month. Definitely, I'm going to like these. These feel like the Mungyos, and the Mungyos are my favorites, so I think that's some good picks for the month. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.